Right. Howdy there, YouTube, internet, Facebook, world, people. Howdy, people. I am Austin Mitchell. I am the person behind the voice slash text posts that you have been reading so much of. Um, Sorry, first and foremost, for the low quality of video and the obvious last minuteness of this setting. Um, Basically, I lack decent recording equipment because, well, that's expensive, and I don't do this regularly. So, yeah, that's the reason for that. As far as the slapdashness of this, turns out I have an awful memory. So, I forgot until like 2 days ago that I had to make this thing, and I had to work full time for various reasons and didn't have time to really prepare anything other than this. So, let's get down to the nitty gritty. What are we working on? You're probably wondering, in fact, you're most definitely wondering, because otherwise you wouldn't have clicked on this, and I should really stop rambling. Well, we are actually currently working on the progression system. You may have noticed in our stream, first little bit of the continuous campaign, we didn't talk about level ups whatsoever. Well, the reason why we did that is because the level up system entirely has been decided to be changed. The reason for this was before we had a very traditional sort of very D&D inspired level up system where you got so much experience, then you basically reached a level through getting that amount of experience, and that level normally just meant, unless it was a significant milestone that your class went for to further detail with, all it really meant was getting a new spell or some slightly better bonuses on a roll. We decided that that's boring. That's been done way too much. We don't like it because, I mean, come on. I just killed a Balrog. Am I really only going to get an extra little magic trick for killing a goddamn Balrog? It's a Balrog. The thing nearly killed Gandalf the Grey. And you're telling me that it's only worth some dancing lights? No. What we're doing instead is a sort of hybrid between traditional leveling systems and point by character creation systems and multi-classing systems. We're sort of mashing all of them together into a massive sort of shrubbery, if you will, or radial wheel, or I'm going to call it a shrubbery because we must fetch more shrubberies, am I right? So, how it's going to start out, I can't go into a lot of details, but I can go into the basic way that the structure will go is when you create your character, you will have enough experience to buy one class because classes, just like anything else in our tree, are buyable. So at any point, you can go back and buy more. But at character creation, you will be given just enough points to buy one class. After that, every level up, you'll get a certain amount of points, experience points, to buy various things. So experience points are now much more of a currency rather than just something you keep track of hoping to reach that next milestone. The next milestone is whatever you want in order to purchase whatever you want. So let's say level 2, you would need X amount of points to go and purchase a level 2 ability. This depends upon the class, but it's very reasonable. It's something that your first session should give you, so that you can just go off right after your first session, buy that second ability. Now, this leads me to another very exciting thing that I want to say, which is multi-classes slash subclasses. In traditional systems, you normally have to wait quite a while to get your second class or multi-class up if you want to be effective in either your primary class or your secondary class or your subclass. Normally it's level 3 in D&D or later. We've decided that's too long. We want you to be able to go and purchase that next class right off the bat. So what does that mean? Well, to put it quite simply, that means level 2, you get the option to just go right away buy that second class. So if all you want to be is a Rage Blade, or to use a D&D frame of reference, if all you want to be is that Eldritch Knight, you don't have to wait until level 3 to be that Eldritch Knight. Level 2, go ahead, be that Eldritch Knight. You don't have to touch the rest of the Spellblade tree if you want to be a Rageblade. All you have to do, buy that Rageblade, you're not a Rageblade. If you want nothing but Rageblade perks, the Spellblade perks don't interest you whatsoever, don't buy them. Don't waste your money, don't waste your time. You know what you do? You go, you buy those Rageblade perks, and then you spend any other experience you want on that second class you want. Let's say that you had rolled a Barbarian because Warhammers are awesome. Also, pillaging and mead. Need I say more as far as barbarians are concerned? But you find that things are often farther away from you than you can throw your axe. And you've hit the bench as much as you can, you just can't throw that axe any farther. Well, you can go over and you can learn how to cast a firebolt at whoever dares run away from you by purchasing the wizard rank, the wizard class, by saving up on a couple level ups, or if you're later on, you can just say, this next ability costs as much as it would for me to buy in a whole nother class. I'm just gonna buy a whole nother class. I may not be the best barbarian ever, but guess what? I'm a shaman now. I'm a barbarian that casts lightning out of my fingertips. Go ahead, do your fancy barbarian dance. I'll shoot you with lightning, then I'll hit you with my own barbarian dance. It's awesome. So that's the way we're doing progression. We're basically knocking down all the walls that we've ever run into when we're trying to create that awesome character in our head, that thing that we came up with in the middle, and I was like, I have to be that. I'm going to be Conan the Barbarian meets RoboCop meets Godzilla. You can do that. You know what? The greatest power of tabletop games has always been your imagination. That's been the real engine behind tabletop games. Not the rules that guys like us put in front of it to make a frame. The real engine of every tabletop game is the imagination of the players. And why on earth would we want to put limits on that engine just to make rules making easier? That's like saying, we could have this beautifully 3D rendered model capable engine, or we could just create this engine that lets us have 1990 graphics. Yeah, the 1990 graphics engine is going to be a whole hell of a lot easier, but nobody's going to want to play that. And that's the philosophy we're taking here. Our philosophy, my personal philosophy in designing Legacy of Harmony is this. When you pick up our game, you need to be able to play it as fast as possible. This isn't 3.5. This isn't Shadowrun. This isn't a game where you and your buddies spend your first session just trying to figure out how to roll a character. This isn't a game where you spend your first night of owning the game just reading the book trying to figure out what the words mean with Google Dictionary open. This is a game where you spend your first night slaying dragons. This is a game where you spend your first night going down and fighting police corruption as we did. Although you could argue that the police weren't really corrupt, we were corrupt as Timmy was a good boy. This is a game, not a book that you sit there and fight with in order to turn it into a game. So that's a little catch up on what we're doing right now. So I'm going to go into announcements, just talk about other things that we're working on and clarify some things that you probably might have some questions on, and I think you would also be interested in knowing. First of all, the streams. Our stream on last Friday night for the continuous campaign, that was at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Many of you are probably wondering, will all the streams be at that time? The answer is yes and no. For the community date and the continuous campaign, yes, it will be at 6 p.m. For right now. We can move it potentially if you guys just say, I can't make it. While I do appreciate you being on the YouTube, I want to be able to chat with you live. So could you move it later? We have discussed that. It's something that we can do should we need to. We are open to doing. We just need feedback from you guys. If you want us to do that, we will work it out. That is 100% our prerogative. If you guys need something or you want something, let us know. We'll find a way to make it happen. As far as the other little segments like this one and the Q&A, how are those going to work? As you're obviously seeing, Dev diaries are going to be pre-recorded. I'm going to upload them on YouTube as soon as I can. Unfortunately, I have other obligations in addition to Twisting Fates, so I have to make this all work with my other obligations. Something that I'm very passionate about. So obviously, Twisting Fates will never be left on the wayside with me. So that leaves the Q&A dates. What we are likely going to do with that is put it in a Google Hangout, unless we get a lot of feedback stating that you would prefer it to be a Twitch live stream, so you can just chat at us with Twitch and not talk to us via webcam at all. I feel that the Google Hangout would be better because of that capability for us to talk back and forth, more immediate interaction and more discussion. You can only talk so much with a text chat, in my opinion. It takes so long, and while it does give you the opportunity to think out what you're going to write and what you're going to say for a longer period of time, it also comes at the cost of breaking the natural flow of conversation. So that's why we're leaning more towards the Google Hangout. It will also be happening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But once again, if we get feedback from you guys saying move it up or move it later, we will find a way to do that. If it, for some reason we just cannot, we will let you know, and we will potentially just move the date completely. If we have to move it from Friday to Saturday or Thursday or something like that, to where it works better for you guys, the community, the people who we're making this game for, then we'll do that. After all, as I just said, we're making the game for you, not for us. Why would we prioritize our own needs and wants over yours? That just wouldn't make any sense. That isn't the way to do things. So those are the little clarifications. As far as announcements go, as I said, we're working on getting those things of that nature. There's still plenty of spots left open for the first ever community date. What we're going to be playing is going to be the most popular module that we ran at BronyCon this year. We had 4 modules to choose from when people played it. Just about every module was ran. A couple got left by the wayside. We may visit those down the line, but instead we decided we're going to go right out the gate by playing the most popular, most demanded, most played module at BronyCon, Baron Bloodmane. I don't want to reveal too many details because that would ruin the fun of everything. But to put it simply, spooky, creepy castle, awesome hijinks. These community dates, as I said, are all about shenanigans. They're all about having fun. This game is about having fun. It's not about debating dice rolls or debating how many feats you get when you create your character and what your ability modifier is, yada, yada, yada. It's about sitting down with a bunch of friends and having fun. That's what games are about. That's what games will always be about. And that's what Twisting Fates games will always be about. We're about having fun with your friends, first and foremost. So this has been the first ever developer diary. I'll be doing this once a month, as I said. I'll also be doing Q&As on the second of every month. First weekend of every month is going to be our community dates. That's coming up. Just email me at twistingfatesgames@gmail.com. Link will be below. Or just put post it in the comments on our Facebook or our Tumblr, or PM me in any way you can. Just send me anything that you want, any way you can. Contact me saying, I want to be part of that community day. We'll work it out. We will get you on that community day. And then before you know it, you'll be playing this awesome game that we are so excited to show you. So excited to give you. So just send me that email, send me that message. I will contact you back as soon as I can, and we will get you on there. So this has been Austin, and I hope you all stay very classy, Internet.